Our final inductee this year has also left a profound impact on countless farmers across the country and really around the world. And as you just heard, has a legacy award that carries his name. David Brandt is no longer with us, but we are honored to have his two children here today to help us celebrate his life and his legacy. Dave Brandt started a regenerative farming revolution from his farm in Carroll, Ohio. And his contributions would eventually earn him various titles that include Master Farmer, the Obi-Wan Kenobi of healthy soil, and simply the Godfather, which could refer to soil health, cover crops, or regenerative agriculture depending on the context. Dave earned his titles through his unrelenting pursuit of advancing sustainable production systems for farmers and the communities that they serve, and for his dedicated mentorship of other farmers, any farmer who was as curious and as passionate as he was. Dave always had the time to listen to questions and offer his advice. Last week, we talked to one of the many farmers who counted Dave as a friend and a mentor. And he said what made Dave special, both as a friend as well as a prolific agriculturalist, was his willingness to share unselfishly, whether with his time or his counsel. He recalled the many times he would get random calls from Dave, who would regularly reach out to other farmers in his network to help troubleshoot any problems that they may be having. They all look forward to Dave's check-ins. In a retrospective series of stories in No-Till Farmer after his death, more than 30 farmers from around the US and around the world shared similar stories about Dave's impact on their farms and their lives. Check-in calls, impromptu farm visits, his friendly and humble mentorship, and unrelenting passion to help other farmers be profitable and more productive. Dave extended his mentorship to farmers around the world, and through his prolific public speaking and advocacy for regenerative practices, he became an unassuming ambassador and sought after expert. He hosted the French agriculture minister on his farm in 2015, spoke at the 2017 Paris Climate Conference, and spoke at the 2020 NATO conference focused on sustainable ag, soils, and climate change. And like any good success story, Dave started from humble beginnings. When he and his wife Kendra began no-tilling in 1971. 1971. They were trying to find a lower cost production system as a tenant farmer. He was starting over after selling his father's farm and equipment following his accidental death, and tillage wasn't in the budget. He planted his first cover crop in 1978. Say that again. 1978 to stabilize his soils, and he started to notice the benefits to his soil health that were powering healthier plants, better yields, and requiring fewer inputs. Like any pioneer, there weren't many farmers out there to copy at the time. So Dave sought information from researchers and SCS. He did extensive testing on his own land, eventually partnering with USDA on soil health education, along with several land grant universities on major research initiatives. When equipment didn't fit with his new production methods, he fabricated his own and worked with manufacturers to retrofit implements for his operation. By the time Dave and Kendra bought the farm in Carroll in 1985, they had a foundation for a fully regenerative system that the Brandt family farm is known for today. Dave would go on to lead and organize groups of dedicated farmers throughout his career. He helped found the Soil Health Academy to educate and empower farmers. He was president of the Ohio No-Till Council for 14 years and was recognized with many, many awards, including, this is just a small snapshot, Ohio Conservation Educator Award from the Ohio No-Till Council, Ohio State University's South Center's Supporter of the Year, Ohio Agriculture's Man of the Year, Ohio Farm Bureau Federation Distinguished Service to Agriculture Award, and Ohio NRCS Conservation Partnership. In 2022, No-Till on the Plains established the David Brandt Soil Legacy Award and honored Dave with its inaugural award. We are proud to honor him with one more recognition today for his lifetime of work and dogged support of other farmers. Dave's son, Jay, and daughter, Amy, are with us today to receive this Hall of Fame recognition. And for those of you that did not have the pleasure of being in the audience to hear him speak, we're going to play a short video here while Jay and Amy come to the stage.
We farm in Fairfield County. We farm 1,250 acres. We've been no-tilling since 1971. Been using cover crops since 1978. Most of our operation is corn, soybeans, and wheat, with about 12 acres of produce for farmers markets. We began using cover crops because we saw in 1976 a reduction in our corn yields, and we had no way to do tillage because we didn't have time, and we looked for ways of doing it with cover crops to release some nutrients and also improve water drainage through the profile. So we increase the organic matter by as much as 0.5% to 1% a year. We see better water infiltration, we see earthworm populations go up, and we also see higher yields. We're about 25% better than our county average on corn. We're about 17% better on beans and about 40% better in wheat. With the introducing of our blends, we have reduced our nutrients as far as chemicals by as much as 75%, and as far as fertilizers and nitrogen, as much as 80%. We can see reductions in nitrogen the first year because of the legumes in the covers, and it takes about 3 years to start seeing reductions in the use of nutrients as far as fertilizer goes, and about the same amount of time to reduce the herbicides, because you need to use the canopy to suppress those weeds. We've not had any trouble planting into the large varieties because most of the varieties are warm season varieties that we're using that frost off in the winter, and then the thatch is about 3 or 4 inches thick, and it's really nice to plant into. I guess some of the main challenges I've had to learn is we've been used to somewhat covers that are low growing on the ground, and as we go to diversity, we have covers that are from 10 foot tall down to 4 inches tall. And you have to keep in mind that you need to keep always managing your equipment, making sure the seed is placed at the right place, and you can accomplish that with the newest equipment today that's out there. The pitfalls I see is you try to think too much about what you're trying to do. Just go do it, get it done, get it out there, and then learn how to manage it.
Well, after that, there's not much left to say. So again, like Ryan had said, even David proceeded on the shoulders of giants before him. He was very fortunate to have some good advisors as a young farmer on that, which really helped him in his career, and some opportunities that were provided through The Ohio State University, which was quite a challenge to work with at first, and took several years to kind of win over some advocacies there, as well as, that we worked through that conventional system and showed the advantages of what we were doing in conservation. So again, many thanks to many of the agencies here today, because he worked quite regularly with NRCS, or Soil Conservation Service before then, with Mike Lessiter, and through the work with No-Till Farmer and some advocacy there. So all of these things, again, we thank you for that opportunity, right, for our family to grow in that and to have that influence here in our culture, which we're really pleased to support. I did find, again, he mentioned the early years. I brought our little photo album of what we've collected over the years. So we did have an award from 1979, or 78 actually, from the initial recognition that we were doing in conservation. In the 1990s was when I find the first evidence of us working with the CTIC in regards to teaching and educating, which was such a large portion of what David wanted to do, right? Because that's the key thing in communication, and building confidence in the producer is that education part. And which is why, we're so thankful to be able to participate with CTIC and getting the information out and getting people the confidence to do what Dad just said there. The seed doesn't grow in the bag, and you got to put it in the soil, right? And then you take care of that soil the best that you can. So thank you again for everyone that has helped David in his career on that. And again, we're just very thankful for the recognition. And like we say, we're riding on the shoulders of giants as well. Thank you.